Hello! In this video guide, I'll be taking a look at the latest addition to Canon's EOS range, the 550D. With its massive 18 megapixel sensor, the 550D isn't just aimed at serious enthusiasts who want to combine high quality stills with high definition video, but also at existing EOS users who are thinking of upgrading from cameras like the 350 and 400D. As these two models are by far the most popular cameras among PhotoPlus readers, over the next few minutes I'll be explaining just why I think the 550D is the perfect upgrade option. At first glance, the two cameras don't look much different, but the 550D feels noticeably more solid than the 400. There's the quick control button, which provides much easier access to the most important settings, and a live view button, which allows you to see what you're shooting on screen. Perfect for situations when it's awkward to peer through the viewfinder. The big difference, however, is the rear LCD screen. Not only is it half an inch bigger than the one on the 400D, it also boasts 4 times as many pixels, making the display staggeringly crisp and vibrant. The screen has also moved on in other ways too. Not only is it easier to view in bright sunlight and from different angles, but it also boasts a 3:2 ratio rather than a 4:3 ratio, which means that when you view your pictures, which are at 3:2, you don't get any black bands at the top and bottom of your image. And as a 5D user, one of the things I love about the 550D that isn't actually new, but doesn't feature on older models, is that when you go to delete your images, you can only delete the image that's on display, which means you don't run the risk of pressing delete all by mistake. But where the 550D really scores over the 400D is in terms of image quality. While the 10 megapixel images from the 400D can produce adequate prints up to A3 size, the level of detail in the 18 megapixel images from the 550D really is breathtaking. And it also means that if you really need to crop right in on your images, you can still get a good size print at the end. Whereas with the 400D, you'd be lucky to get away with images shot at ISO 400 or higher, the 550D produces impressively noise-free results right up to 1600 ISO, thanks to its enhanced in-camera noise reduction software. You also get more choice. The 400D is limited to a maximum ISO of 1600, but the 550D goes all the way up to 12,800. Perfect for those low light situations when noise isn't an issue. And whereas the ISO setting is buried in a menu on the 400D, the 550D boasts an ISO button right next to the shutter release button. But perhaps best of all is the function that allows you to set the maximum ISO you're prepared to accept when you're using the versatile auto ISO function, which is perfect in situations when the light conditions are constantly changing. Metering has also come on in leaps and bounds since the 400D first came out. The 550D features the same 63 zone metering system as the 7D, and unlike earlier EOS cameras, this means that it's capable of recognizing color and tone when evaluating exposure. And this is perfect for shooting things like skin tones. And unlike the 400D, it also features spot metering, which allows you to hone in on a specific part of your image and expose just for that part much more accurately. And if the thought of things like exposure settings send you into a tailspin, the 550D's clever creative mode allows you to lighten backlit images or increase background blur using 2 easy to understand sliders. They're a bit fiddly button-wise, but once you get the hang of it, they really work a treat. And let's not forget about video functionality. The 400D, of course, doesn't have a video function, but with its ability to shoot high-definition video at 30 frames per second, the 550D is in the same league as the much more expensive 7D. For the same reason, it's arguably a much better camera than the semi-pro 50D, but here the jury's out. If you're used to the little thumb wheel that comes on the back of the semi-pro and pro EOS cameras, then you might find the buttons on the back of the 550D a bit fiddly. But for everyone else, it's a no-brainer. The RRP of £700 might sound like a lot for a consumer camera, but you do get an awful lot for your money. After all, when the 400D came out almost 4 years ago, it was the same price. And with the 550D, you get so much more besides. As well as HD video, you also get image files that are twice the size, you get much better high ISO performance, and a much improved rear LCD screen. And the price will inevitably drop in the coming months. And when it does, it will make the 550D the perfect upgrade. Or for that matter, the perfect first DSLR.